In today's video, I want to talk to you about why discipline isn't actually the problem in kids' Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Right now, most behavior issues are labeled as a lack of discipline because when we mislabel the problem, we keep applying the wrong solution. If you coach kids, you have probably felt frustrated when a class feels out of control. But most behavior issues aren't defiant. They are simply feedback. Programs that understand behavior don't rely on punishment. They rely on structure. Different ages, different nervous systems, different needs, but one coaching style. When you design for behavior instead of reacting to it, classes begin to run themselves. Kids who feel safe and successful will stay longer, and longer means more stable programs. The smartest coaches don't need to coach harder, they coach smarter. If you want kids to stay, not just comply, then this is for you. Next, I'm going to show you how to design games that regulate behavior without punishment. If discipline was the problem, stricter rules would fix it. We've all seen highly disciplined classes still fall apart. What's really happening is that kids are responding to the structure. When goals are unclear, behavior gets messy. And when transitions are vague, frustration builds. When expectations change from class to class, kids push boundaries. Behavior isn't defiance, it is feedback. Kids are telling you so clearly what the environment feels like to them. Most behavior issues show up in the same moments. Kids keep rolling past the bell. They argue about who won. They melt down when they lose. They disengage halfway through the class. Not because they are bad, naughty, undisciplined kids, but because they don't know when the game ends, what success looks like, and what happens next. I've seen this play out in real programs. One kids class looks busy and energetic on the surface, but the coach is actually exhausted. Every session felt like damage control. Nothing changed about the kids, but what did change was the structure. The games had clearer goals. Transitions became tighter. Expectations were built into the class instead of just being shouted at over the top of it. Within weeks, I saw behavior settle. Parents trusted the process. The coach could actually teach jiu-jitsu. Same kids, same mat, but now a different system. Everything that I do in kids classes comes back to 3 principles. First, clarity always beats control. Kids behave better when the goal is obvious. Second, structure regulates behavior. Routines will do more work than rules ever will. And third, design for development, not for compliance. Confidence keeps kids on the mat longer than obedience. These are not theories. They show up in every calm, well-run kids class you have ever seen. Now, here is something that most coaches don't realize. A lot of behavior issues start before the class has even begun. They start with mismatched expectations. If parents think your class is about obedience, they are going to expect control. If they understand it's about development, they're going to expect learning. And when parents don't understand your structure, they start managing your class from the sidelines. This is why I always explain how kids programs works before the problem even begins to appear. Not to sell, but to align. Clear expectations protect you as the coach and dramatically reduce parent pressure. Parents and kids decide a lot before you even start teaching. They judge your environment, how kids enter the mat, how games start and finish, what the assistants are doing, how the transitions look. Before kids hear you, they feel the structure. You can say all the right things, but if the environment is chaotic, behavior will follow. Structure is not strict, it is reassuring. Trust isn't built by being louder, being stricter, or even being more entertaining. It is simply built through consistency. You have the same routines, the same language, the same expectations. When kids know what's coming next, they feel safe. And when parents see consistency, they start to relax. And relaxed kids and parents create much calmer classes for you to manage. This is how kids stay long-term in Jiu-Jitsu. Trust is built in stages. A positive trial experience, early success, clear communication, then commitment. You don't earn long-term buy-in by simply demanding it. You earn it by proving that your system works. Calmer classes, more confident kids, less emotional fallout. This is your proof. Once trust is built, this is where boundaries matter. You need to have clear policies, clear standards, and a clear culture. Not to push people away, but to protect the program. Strong structure doesn't scare the right families. It actually will reassure them. And it gives you space to coach without constantly having to react. When your program is clear, aligned families attract aligned families. You don't need to convince anyone. Culture spreads through people who believe in what you're doing. If there is one thing that I want you to take from this, discipline isn't the problem in kids' jiu-jitsu. Structure is the solution. Now, if you want the actual class structures, the games, and the systems behind this approach, this is what I teach inside the Art of Coaching Foundations and community. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.